in really dense urban areas, which is the nature of our watershed. Like the kind of principle of stormwater management in general is that you're basically trying to reduce or eliminate impervious surfaces so that water, as much stormwater as possible, can soak into the ground. That's the best way to manage stormwater. My name is Abby Moore, and I'm the Outreach Program Manager at the Mississippi Watershed Management Organization. We are a small unit of local government, and we are governed by a board of commissioners, which consists of an elected official from each of the 7 members that we serve. Our responsibility is essentially to protect and improve water quality in the watershed. It's just a 40 square mile area of land, basically right in the middle of the Twin Cities metro area. Minneapolis Park and Recreation Board is one of our members. It is our duty to sort of serve them and also make sure that we are supporting their efforts to do water quality improvement and protection. The way that we typically approach these partnerships is that we try to always fund work that's sort of above and beyond the regulatory threshold for stormwater management. So we want to always have sort of the value add component. So managing more stormwater, adding more habitat, more green space, whatever, than what would be required by the city. The Sculpture Garden itself is a partnership project between the Walker Art Center and the Minneapolis Park and Recreation Board. So one of the things that's true for a lot, maybe even all of the Minneapolis parks, is that they are mostly situated on former wetland. So if you think about in the early development of the city, wetlands are not really good for building on. So naturally, that land was turned into park. So the park board acquired a lot of land that's wetland. So the Sculpture Garden is a good example of that. Wetlands or mostly drained. The soils that make up wetlands tend to be really, really fine. After many years of people walking around through the Sculpture Garden, soil had gotten super compacted. And so stormwater, water from rain and melting snow, could no longer soak into the soil. So it just created sort of like a muddy mess, and the turf wasn't growing very well, so it didn't look very good. So there was a lot of desire on the part of both the Walker and the park board to improve that space. Typically, that's the way a lot of our projects unfold, is that someone will bring us in pretty early. That's when we do our best work. So one of the things that we funded was the replacement of soils in the sort of front or more northern section of the Sculpture Garden. So they took out those old wetland soils and replaced it with soil that has more sand mixed into it, essentially, which maintains pore spaces so water can more easily soak in. We also funded construction of a water reuse system. So just to the east of the Spoon Bridge and Cherry, there's a huge lawn, and underneath that is an 80,000 gallon cistern. And that cistern collects overflow water from the Spoon Bridge and Cherry fountain. So that overflow water, which say it's about 30,000 gallons a day, is overflowing from that. So all of that goes into the tank. Water in the cistern is used to irrigate the entire Sculpture Garden as well as the baseball field that's right next to it. There is drain tile in those rooms that directs any excess moisture from the irrigation or from rain that's in there back into the cistern. So you've got sort of this constant recycling system. And so that is a much more sustainable way to water all of that turf grass. The very northern end of the Sculpture Garden, which is also the lowest spot, that is sort of like more wild and planted with native plants that are more typically found in an area like that. Anyway, they did not replace the soils there. So the intention with the plants that are planted there, they have really deep root systems. And those root systems should help pull some of the water down into the soils. Also, they're planted in such a way that you're not going to really be walking through them. There's some like stepping stones and things so you can get in there, but you're not going to be walking across these really tall plants otherwise. So So that's a kind of a habitat enhancement area for sure for like pollinators and birds and things. We've got habitat there, we've got water reuse, better filtration and movement of water through the site. When it was modeled, it was going to essentially keep 4.7 million gallons of water out of storm drains annually. In really tight urban areas, we find that reuse systems like the one at the Sculpture Garden can be a really great stormwater management strategy